Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had an amazing day. I look gross. I had an incident at school with my chronic regional pain syndrome and my thoughts of depression. My depression is getting not worse, it's just at a high point. And I've really been wanting to make a video on depression, because if anyone's going through that time of feeling down, then I completely understand, and if you need any advice or anything, I'm there for you. 100%. I wanted to talk to you about my journey of feeling depressed and being down. So I just wanted to start and just have a little chat, because I'm just feeling horrible and rubbish right now. And I'll get to it by the end of the video. You'll completely understand. And if anyone's going through the same thing as me, I am totally here for you. And if you have any questions, I'll help you on how I deal with it every single day. So I've had the CRPS for 3 years. Now, since that day of me injuring myself, I have not been the same. I have not laughed properly, and I have not smiled properly. Every one of my smiles or my laughs can be fake. I just want to make people happy, so I have to smile. I have to do that, but inside I just want to curl up in a ball and cry. So about a year ago, I got my first ever thought of self-harm. To let you guys know, I have not self-harmed at all. Well, there's some little ways, but they're not known as proper self-harming. I've spoken to a counsellor, and that's not proper self-harming, but I will get to that. I got my first thought about cutting myself, and I freaked out. I didn't know what to do, so I went straight down to my mum and I burst, and I was crying for hours and hours and hours. It's scary seeing yourself hurt yourself. So I just spoke to my mum, and ever since then, every single day I have had a thought, and sometimes every single day I have thousands and thousands of thoughts about hurting myself. If I look at a piece of string, I can imagine strangling myself. If I look at scissors, I can imagine doing things. I can't touch a knife or scissors anymore, because it causes me to freak out thinking that I would hurt myself. So after the first thought, I kept getting thoughts of self-harm. When I'd look down at my arms, I would see cuts. I would just see deep cuts in my arms, and I'd say, "Mummy, look," and she said, "What are you talking about? There's nothing there." Now I can honestly say that I have had no cuts or anything. The only marks on my hands are either from scars from MMA, like conditioning your knuckles or anything. But yeah, I've got no marks on my arms whatsoever. No marks. However, when I look at my arms, I see cuts, and you can see there's none, but I see them. I see cuts in my arms. It got worse, and it got to a point where we were at a barbecue with my siblings, and I went into the bathroom because I'd seen a knife, and I freaked out. I didn't know what to do, and I went upstairs into the bathroom in my parents' room, and I washed my face to get rid of the tears because I'd absolutely freaked out, and I told my mum that I was going upstairs to wash my face. I looked in the mirror and I saw rope marks all across my neck, like I had strangled myself with a rope. I had got a rope and hung myself, and I could see marks all across my neck. I felt that I collapsed. I went numb. I couldn't talk because they looked real, but I don't have any marks on my neck. So yeah, it looked completely real. And then after that, I went downstairs and explained it to my mum. Now, advice to give you is, as soon as you get a thought, you need to tell someone. You need to talk to someone. So if you don't tell someone, that just opens a dark patch, and then you'll think about it, and your brain will pick at it until it happens. So you need to tell someone. It doesn't matter if your parents, if it's your siblings, if it's your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, if it's a teacher or a carer. Anyone, you need to tell someone that you trust. Now, after the rope situation, I then started getting thoughts of suicide as well as self-harm, and I'd have thoughts, like thousands and thousands of thoughts about doing it. Now, one day I was desperate. I just needed release, and I just thought, I want to commit suicide. I want to do it. I want to. And I got a rush. A smile came on my face. The first smile I'd done in ages. I wanted to commit suicide. And I obviously haven't. I freaked out and I went into the garden because that was my safe place. The garden was my safe place because I have chickens. They helped me calm down. And then because my mum was at work. And the next day I told her, I said that yes, that I wanted to commit suicide. I really was desperate. And then after that, I'd sit in the car and I'd imagine me jumping out the car door. I'd open it and jump out. Now, again, I was scared that I was going to act upon this, so I would lock the door. I'd just lock the door. And so if I had a vision about me opening it and I'd come to my sense and realise I was doing it, I'd still be in the car. I wouldn't be on the road. And then at one point I was walking, we were walking the dog and we were getting home and we were going to cross the road to my drive, and when we got there was a bus, and I stepped out. I thought it was in a vision. I thought I was having a thought, and the thought was that I stepped out in front of a bus, when actually I fell over the curb, nearly landing in the road, and realised that it wasn't a thought. I was actually doing it. I was actually stepping out in front of a bus. And that scared me. For a few days I kept it by myself and it just haunted me. I had nightmares about it, so I told my mum, never keep it a secret because it will haunt you. And then that's happened twice more. Once I got almost like awoken from the thought because the teacher was screaming, get out the road. And the second time my friend went, what are you doing? Because I started walking out when a silver car came. So I've been having these thoughts for nearly a year. And I've just been feeling rubbish. I've been feeling down. Putting a smile on your face every day is exhausting. Today, I got home. I'd had an incident at school, so I was in agony. I still am in a lot of pain, but I'm able to cope with it now. And I got home, and I just lay on the couch, and I got into my exercise clothes because I needed to do my exercises. Because they say when you're in pain you need to do your exercises, so I did them. We had dinner, and we cleaned up, and after we cleaned up I just sat on the couch, and I thought I just want to kill myself. I want to kill myself. I really wanted to. I really just wanted to kill myself. I didn't want to be here. I just needed release. I just didn't want to feel it anymore. I didn't want to be around people. I just wanted to go. And the thing is, for the past few days, I've had thoughts on how I would kill myself, and my brain has decided how I would. But I just got home and I just wanted to kill I wanted to be finished. I thought I'd gone through enough. I really just wanted to end it. I really did. And I kept it a secret. and my dog could tell something was wrong, so she came and licked me, and she tried to make me feel better. And I just lay there on the couch and I cried, and I cried. And my mum was running after the dog. She was playing with the dog, and she ran into the room and she said, "Why are you crying?" She came over and I was in a ball crying, and she said, "Why are you crying?" And I looked up at her and said, "I just want to kill myself." And she went, "No, you don't." And I went, "Yes, I do. I really, really, really do." My siblings came down and I tried to act like nothing, that I was fine. But I just kept on crying. I had tears streaming down my face. And I really, really wanted to. I really did. I just wanted to end it. I was fed up. I'd been bullied for so many years. I was coping with my CRPS. And I've been feeling rubbish for years. I just have built up anger, and I can't get it out because my mixed martial arts, I used to get my anger out. And I was fed up. I just didn't want to be here. And then my mum is at work. She works evenings. And she sat down next to me and she started talking to me. She went, "Out of 10, how much do you want to?" And I was really, really high. But I lowered it to a 6. That was the furthest I could lower it from a 10. I was so desperate. Now, if anyone ever, and I mean ever, feels like they want to commit suicide, talk to someone. If you're by yourself, ring someone. Go for a walk. Now, I completely understand you, because I went through that today. And then today I've just been having people saying, "Are you okay?" And you have to say yes. But that's all that's been on my brain. I just wanted to. Really, really did. And that's sad. And I just sat there crying, and my mum tried calming me down. But nothing could. And yeah. So yeah, I tried to calm myself down, and I tried thinking about positives. I always try and think about positive things in my life. But for that moment, I couldn't think of any. And the only thing that was stopping me from doing it was I was thinking about how my family would feel without me and how they would cope. So I didn't. I'm still here. I have really mixed emotions, and I don't know how I feel. Sometimes I want to kill myself, sometimes I don't. But yeah, it's difficult when you're that desperate that you want to kill yourself. Now, if anyone's feeling that desperate, I totally understand. It's just, and I was that desperate. And I'm still affected by it. It'll probably take me a few days to get over it. But you just need to continue. You need to talk to someone whenever you get a thought. You need to talk to someone. You need to just say positive. There's something called the GLAD game that I always try and play. And whenever there's something bad that happens, you always have to try and pick the positives out of it. You always have to think, well, with CRPS, I have a family that's supportive and loves me. I have friends that are there for me. Now, you need to always find the positives, because that's how you're going to get through it. You feel like rubbish. You don't want to talk to anyone. You just want to lock yourself in your room, and that's the last thing I would do. don't lock yourself in your room. Stay with your family, because if you choose to do something, then you can just talk to someone. If you're in your room, then you have the panic and you have the thoughts about it. You need to talk to someone. Now, as I mentioned, there was a little slight thing happened, but a counsellor that I spoke to said that it didn't count as self-harm. As I said, I lock the door whenever I go in a car because I just am petrified that I'm gonna open my eyes and I'm gonna be flying out of the door, and I'm just gonna be skidding across the road because I'm scared that I don't want to jump out the car. And one incident, the door wouldn't lock, and I really wanted to hurt myself and kill myself because I imagined the burn that it would get from the floor, and I thought that would be released. And it's not visible, but I have a mark here and no one has seen it. I used to say it was a blister. Now, that is not a blister. I really wanted to jump out the car, and my mum was telling me to pat my knee while we were driving because that would take my mind off it. However, instead of that, I just couldn't cope. It was either me ripping the skin off my finger here with my finger with my nail and like ripping it off, and it left a cut across here and a burn. So I was just picking at it, and it was either that or I jumped out the car. And we got home and I put a plaster of it and I hid it from my siblings. I didn't want them to see, but I showed my mum. And that was petrifying, because then I said, is that self-harm? Is that I was freaking out that I had done self-harm because I didn't want to at that stage. I just didn't want to hurt myself. So she said no, and so we went to a counsellor, and he said no, it didn't really count as it. It was just me trying to cope with it. So yeah. Now, also, I've tripped, and because of my CRPS I collapsed, and so my phone completely and utterly smashed. It has got marks down like the sides of it, but you can't really see it. It's like cuts like across here, and there's sharp bits in here from where that's my camera. The glass is broken off. I slid on my bed and it cut me here, and I started crying and screaming because it looked like I had cut myself, and it was like a slip, and it looked like I cut myself, and I was freaking out because I thought, imagine if I did, what? So, if any of you are feeling depressed, if any of you are wanting to hurt yourself, please talk to someone that you trust, talk to someone that you know will help you and will give you advice. You need to talk to someone because it will help you the most. You just need to trust me. I was petrified. I didn't want to talk to someone because I thought I was going to be a burden. I thought that it was just a stupid thing at the start, and then it just continued, which then obviously told me that it was something serious. And because of this, I am feeling really, really low on energy. I'm feeling low on emotion. I'm just not feeling good. And also I've had a hard day because of the CRPS playing up. So you need to talk to someone if you're ever wanting to. If there's a friend that can help you out, go and talk to them. That is the best source that you can get. Now, I haven't told anyone at school about these thoughts because people always come up to me and say, oh my gosh, you're such a happy person all the time, you're so bubbly. However, I just want to say I'm not. I'm a teenager in crisis. I just feel down all the time. Like now, it's just, yeah, you just need to keep fighting, keep trying to pick the positives out of it. So number one, talk to someone, and two, pick the positives out of it. You need to keep a positive mindset, otherwise all negatives are going to start flowing in. When I said I wanted to kill myself, I just picked all the positives up that have happened in my life about bullying, about my CRPS, and you need to find positives in it, otherwise you're just not gonna cope. And surround yourself with your family and your friends, because I just thought I need to go. However, for some reason I didn't leave the couch. I just froze and started crying. So another thing to do is stay near your family. Don't lock yourself up in your room. The only time I come in my room is if I'm going to sleep. Now, if any of you have any more questions about depression or anything, I'll talk to you guys about it. If any of you are going through the same sort of thing, or just a different type of depression altogether, if you need any help, leave it in the comment section or my Snapchat and Twitter page as well. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, if you have any more questions about depression that you'd like to know and how I cope with it every single day, then leave your questions and everything down below. Just remember those three things basically. Talk to someone, think positives, and surround yourself with people that you love. If you like the video, then please hit the like button. Sorry this is kind of a down video, but I really feel like I really want to help people out there, and I feel like explaining what I'm going through will assist those people, and they will finally see that someone out there is going through the same thing as them, and it's okay. You're gonna be alright. I'm still here. I've not done anything apart from that little thing there. You can't see it at all, but yeah, that little mark there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.